You've been after that buck for 18 hours.
It's like having like warm milk running through your veins or something.
We have the superior resources and technology.
I don't see anything!
Brent was like, oh, come shadow me for a week. And then he was just like at his email machine the whole time and didn't really tell me really anything. And I was just like, okay. And then he left. And I was like, I have no idea what's going on. And now I like when I talk through that experience of just like not really knowing what I'm supposed to be doing, like I was like, this feels like a Kafka-esque, like some person named Larry's gonna call me and I'm gonna like do something, but I don't know what I'm doing. And then I remember like telling Tessa like the experience, and she's like, yeah, that's just every job. You know, I had come from working on bigger movies and I was discouraged by that, just feeling like you're a cog in the wheel and really not like if I fell ill, the movie would be fine, you know. And with Glass Eye, it's really not like that. You know, it does feel like you're essential. You know, before I met you, this is also like worth saying, is like before I met you, I never watched horror movies. I only like really loved. I came to Glass Eye because I loved Kelly, to be honest. Like her movies, and I remember watching before I even knew you, like Wendy and Lucy, and was just like, what the fuck? Why am I devastated over this woman and her dog? I mean, she's such a beautiful artist. And realized how close you were, so I was like, this guy must be cool. And then I loved your movies so much. They were like everything I liked. Polanski, sense of unreliable narrators, and these sorts of things. It's like, how can you not love, if you love cinema, you love Hitchcock, is the point, because he's just created the language, or created a lot of the language.
Okay, cool. So that's all I need.
So we're
from
done.
the interview. Okay, we're done.
Yeah, I mean, that was the first time that it was like, okay, we're gonna try you out, kid, kind of thing. Well, you know, James is just incredible and does so much of the work that I just needed to supply him with camaraderie, really, and like just know that there's someone there looking out for him in this way. And everything with him is just so designed. And I remember just like getting on the phone with him, and he sent me these drawings, and that kind of got me hooked at being like, oh, I should really like be engaged right now, because this guy is going to live or die based off of this little movie. When we did the next one, El Valtrax, and then the guy just, you know, works, and then he sleeps, and then he gets up and works again. You know, I think you sort of realize, you're like, I hired this office guy, but he's not very good at office things. And then you're like, oh, but he does know how to edit and he does know how to shoot. And then you were like, I'm making my kids, Jack, movie upstate, come help and be a hand. And then it was a beautiful experience being up there, and also just like, we spent a lot of time, we worked on a number of films. They all sort of blend. Besides for the features, you know, there was like this whole extended period. I mean, half the time it was like something he was just doing, or it was like something for like Catcher in the Rye, and we did it at St. Basil's. We got that beautiful stuff, and it's just very like encouraging, because it just makes it's very tangible. Oh, Prince, yeah, I was there. We were shooting film, yeah, that was great. Shooting film, that was really fun, and my father had bought me a light meter like ages ago, and I was like, oh, I get to use it. It was a kind of combo, because we were doing, there were two birds. It was Egg and the Hatchet and Stray Bullets happening at the same time. And I had just done Egg and the Hatchet and had not succeeded in finishing. I had only shot half the short, and then I came to do Stray Bullets, and I remember just being so relieved to just not have everyone looking at me, and just sort of, okay, just make suggestions, focus, and yeah, that was great. And also,
this is great.
That's where I first met John Spiridakis, and he's got a great performance in that. And also, I love that in the BTS, there's like, I know all footage very well because I edited the BTS of that movie. Like we were like setting everything up, and I'm just basically like, you know, being very forceful as to how I think it should happen.
Okay, let's do it.
Action!
Cody!
I did a lot of locations for you guys over the years, but one of the locations we got for Stray Bullets is when the robbers or the villains are come into this garage, and it's like this perfectly, like, you know, the background is overexposed and they come in silhouette and the gunshots, it's perfect reveal of the space. And we were shooting across the street at this serviceable thing, and then we were just like, that's so cool. And I was like, I'll go over and talk to him. And I went over, and it taught me a lot about locations and how to deal with people on a low budget. Is like, if you say to them, I'm going to shoot here in an hour, they're excited. They don't think about insurance. Well, we have insurance, but it's like, they don't think about what could go wrong. Should I tell my wife? Is my boss going to find out? If you're like, we're going to do this right now, a lot of times you'll just get people who are just have an artistic kind of, they care about an artistry in some way, and we'll just go for it. I feel like that's the first movie that I really like kind of shot for you, or that I was, you know, you had ideas of this and that, and I was like, oh, I can make that camera rig. And that was great. I actually really love that short so much. It's so precise, and it's like, it's just this like little mechanism that works so well. The last image was so epic, with your Subaru parked in the middle of the street on top of the, you know, gathering fucking, you know, extras that are just like, why is there a dead child in the middle of the road? But then it went on and on. I mean, this is so like you, and I feel like I take some of your personality in shooting. You know, you don't need to get all of these pieces, just get the structure of the movie down, and then you can, without any pressure, get something that just like makes it better. Mickey is so amazingly charismatic and just like excited, and it's a great way to direct. People are happy to be there for you, and we shot that movie very quickly, and my main contribution, I would say, is that the location which we got for free had a dog that would not stop barking, and the old lady who just like loved the dog, right? So we couldn't shoot and all these different things, and I was like, it was my mission to like control this dog. So I'd be like, oh, let me take the dog out for a walk, and then I would just be like, no, but I literally was like, you fucking listen to me, you know, and the dog would be like this, and then he would start barking, and then I would just walk into the room and stare at him, and the dog would be like me. I helped them scout. They used my car. I bought it for Egg and the Hatchet. So CRUMB CATCHER's number 3 for this guy. And I remember watching the first cut and just was like, I'm there for you, dude. Like, I think this is great. And yeah, I thought it was a really special film. And I was encouraged to be there, like helping out through post and sort of being a cheerleader for the project. Well, I love Anna so much, the director of Most Beautiful Island. And so I helped them with locations, and we had, because there was that series where they made the movie, shot on film, and then it just felt like it needed something a little bit more punchy. I think we were stifled by the location. And I remember just walking in Dumbo and seeing this incredible location, and I sent her a picture, and she was like, I need that location. And then I ended up talking to the people that they were about to build. They were about to build offices, you know, and we got in right before. Again, it's that thing, like, I think with locations, if you can just get them right the right moment, like you just have to be spontaneous and in and out, and people will do it for next to nothing, you know. I just, you know, I think the thing about Glass Eye that I love so much is that it's so random. Like your skill sets are like, you know, if you're a DP, you're just like focused on, are those keynotes or this or that, but it's just like the whole world is potentially something you need to learn how to do. So every time we would do a big event, it would be like, okay, what am I gonna build next? You know, for the sound, and one of them was a door, and then the other one was the little trap doors for like footsteps. So it's great at, like, you know, you can go from grass to tile to this to that, and honestly, with the sound effects, it's just like you're kind of the main point of the tale, even though like the writers would want you to think that. But it's like people are like, how are they doing that sound? So it's a lot of fun, and just brings you back to, like, I don't know, I just think of Ed Wood or something, just like, you know, like breaking up like a cantaloupe or something to get like a good effect. So Ranger was such a special being in that atmosphere, and I was with James, myself, Ben Duff, Rigo, Jesse was on it as well, yeah. And I just, you know, I just love having a family of people who are out to accomplish something together. So I the point is I AD'd that movie, and it was sort of Jen and I kind of getting shit done. Jen is so good at casting, and it really is like, you know, the kids are like electric. I mean, also just like the way they look, it's like a poster. Perforated ulcer, and just like I woke up in the, you know, just the most incredible pain, and almost died. Thank God I live in Manhattan. I would have died if I didn't live in Manhattan, is the truth, because the hospital was so close. My scar is the poster, which I still think is the better poster. Yeah. James and I shot Depraved together, and we're making a movie about a Frankenstein. I just like felt like there was just certain things, like when he first wakes up, and I was just like, oh no, Larry, but like when you get up, it's like this, and then it's sort of, because I just had gone through this experience, so I sort of like felt like I had lent something to it. You know, it's interesting when you're like only working on your own stuff. A lot of times your antenna is so focused on a singular like thought or like a theme or whatever. But when you're like working on someone else's stuff, your antenna is very open. Yeah. And it's interesting that it can be just as personal. We were building everything, and you're like, I don't know if these people are gonna come through with the money. And I just remember like being next to you all the time, being like, dude, this guy's suffering right now. I mean, your back was fucked up, but also just like the mental, like you gotta not let that on, which you let it on for me, but like the rest of the crew is like business as usual, things are happening, but it's such the like the chore of the director to just like always be like, things are moving forward and things are gonna be good, and I feel like I learned that from you, and that is that you were dealing with so much chaos, but focused on what needed to happen, you know. My roommate was leaving my apartment, and then I'm like, I don't know, I'm gonna make rent, and then you're just like, move all the Glass Eye shit and I'll pay your rent for the thing. And I was like, thank you. But that was a whole fucking adventure doing, I mean, it's just like, I always make this joke that it's like James McKenney, who was 2 guys before me, he made and collected all this shit. And then it's been my job to carry it from fucking place to place.
Glass Eye Pix.
Did a lot of Minidocs. When we would have a bunch of movies come out, I would edit together like compilation reels and things like that. And overall, like, one thing that I really loved about Glass Eye, I mean, when I say Glass Eye, it's mostly you, it's like you're so focused on history, on collecting the past. And a lot of my job was like, you know, when I first came to Glass Eye, there was like a huge storage space with just like all these tapes that, what the fuck are they? And then at the end of it, it's like, I know where all of them, I know where everything is, and you're just like, you find weird tapes that you were doing in the 80s, and you're like, one of my jobs was like, I just thought I was like on-site shooter, editor, and archivalist is sort of how I saw my day-to-day and drinking, you know, collaborator. I think I was at the typewriter and he was acting it out, which is our normal thing. And he just did the bad guy so good. And I was just like, who are we gonna get to play this that's better than you?
When I snap my fingers, you fucking move, all right? Tough chick, you want me to put you in timeout again? What, you want 2 weeks, 3 weeks? You want to go timeout? You want to go up against the wall? Why are you getting so scared? Don't get so scared, don't get so nervous. Go sit on his lap.
I was so happy that Beck had asked me to do that because, again, it's like the reoccurring thing of stop being precious.
So, what are you doing for the holidays? Big plans?
Nope, just work.
That's terrible. You're kidding me.
My family's in El Salvador, so might as well let the other guys get a day off.
Oh, that breaks my heart in two. You don't have anyone to spend the holidays with?
I think one of the things that working at Glass Eye kind of allowed me is like, there's a certain amount of freedom sometimes that you have about your schedule that sort of just allows you to keep suffering, keep pushing forward with the thing and being encouraged. And whenever I would get stuck, I would sort of reach out to you, probably about something else Glass Eye related, but the real mission was to, I need him to tell me what to do with this fucking script. And then you'd always come up with some solution that was profound in the moment and always like was like great, which pushed me forward. And then it was 3 steps back. Our personalities are a nice pair because our sensibilities are very similar, but our attitudes at which we make art are almost the opposite. So there's a sort of nice struggle there. You had asked me to shoot some footage for this short Fever, and it was during pandemic, so you were upstate and I was in New York, and you sort of asked me like, be my New York person. I'm gonna be upstate, and you and Jack shot kind of the narrative, but then I shot sort of the anxiety, you know, depressed shit of people dying. And I remember just like, I was on my skateboard doing some of these things towards ambulances. I didn't really want to get close, and then I remember like I was at the hospital where my daughter was born, and I just saw this like person being taken out of the ambulance, and I'm like, God damn it, I really don't want to get close because I don't want to die. But this shot is just kind of too good. So I got close and then immediately regretted it. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to die. You know, because it was during this period where it was like much more unknown than we are here right now, especially living in a metropolis. Like, and that was beautiful. And also, like, one of the biggest contributions I would say that I had to that movie is that I think I told you that the end should be people clapping. Because I was living in the city, and every day at 7 o'clock, I believe, everyone would get out their doors and do the pans and the clapping. And I thought that would, I was like, this is exactly what you, I was thinking through what you would like, because it's like, you know, I love Jonathan Demme says this thing about like, that you're documenting something that is real, and then you're juxtaposing your story into it. I mean, honestly, it was COVID that kind of rocked me into shape, because I was just like sitting there, not having anything to do. I mean, I'm always busy, but like just being like, I can't wait anymore. Like, and I had gotten a little bit of money together, and I'm like, I'd rather, you know, I remember calling Rigo and being like, do you want to be Shane? And he's like, call me later. You know, like, don't get my hopes up, dude. And then I called you, and then you were encouraged, and then I called him. One of the things that like you just need in your life as a creative type is just like, you need people that when you call them, they're like, fuck yeah. You just, it's so important to have that person who fans your flame and says, keep going. Okay, and action.
Knock, knock. Anybody home?
Hey man.
So Shane, is it cool if we set up in here? I absolutely love this space.
Set up.
I used the sense of improvisation, but then I like locked people in. Like I was like, you said that felt good when you said it. Now that's locked in. So there's this sense of like, it feels like it's alive, but it's, you know, it didn't just come from me. It came from the actors.
Okay, who the hell is this?
Oh, well, this is my wife.
Right, Rose. Oh.
She was a bartender at the wedding.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You two came up here to give us our missing wedding cake, and now you want to show us this thing you've been working on.
It's an invention.
Right, and Shane, you think this is a good idea?
You need to be focused on the team. Like that is everything. You don't have anything else other than your family when you're making something.
I don't want it to have to come together.
Why are you downplaying all of this?
I'm not downplaying shit. I just don't know what you expect to happen right now.
I'm actually something of an artist myself. It won't take 2 minutes.
Come back here at any second.
I look at a lot of like studio movies, and they solve their problems with money. And I love that I'm a part of a place that solves their problems with their attitude and their brain. And